Hey guys, how's it going? ItZMuRdA here with a episode of Current Events. You might notice something's a little bit different this time. There's a little person in the top left corner of your screen. That would be me. This is me speaking to you, and it's the first time I'm going to try something that I kind of dubbed Current Events Live, even though they were always essentially live things that I did on Twitch first and then would highlight and then upload to YouTube after the fact, so that I got that interaction with the community and had them basically in both places. But I'm going to try this a little bit differently because the biggest single piece of feedback that I would get about the Current Events videos is that it was pretty boring to watch my browser, just me scrolling through stuff, and even though sometimes I would highlight something that I'm talking about or explain it to you guys visually, it was pretty boring. And I get that, and I designed them to be quick, efficient news videos, mostly that you would listen to. Like, I listen to a lot of videos like these from other YouTubers and things like that when I'm out running or whatever. Mostly just for the audio, not so much the visuals, unless you're a new player or you don't know what it is that I'm talking about, and then maybe you want the visuals. But anyway, as opposed to putting gameplay in them, which would exponentially increase the production time in making these videos, and there's some things that I like to do a couple times each week, so to have to put a few hours into each just to get some random gameplay in, it wasn't really going to work with my schedule too well, so I decided to throw this cam up there like a lot of people do and see if that's somehow more entertaining. I don't think that I'm too entertaining to look at personally, but that's up to you guys to decide. So this is the first test run of this, and if you guys like this format, I'll be doing other current events videos and maybe some like previews and patch note videos and other sorts of live productions with the webcam in the corner, so that at least there's something moving, something going on. And give me your feedback. If you like it, great. I'm glad to have made it more enjoyable for you guys, and if not, then I don't have to do it. Anyway, enough about that, because there's a lot to talk about in this video. But please do leave your feedback in the comments. I really appreciate it. So the main thing that I wanted to basically just echo Higby's post from last night, which you can see on screen here, about things that are coming up, the next game update, which is currently scheduled for Tuesday, December 17th, so that's just 4 days from now when I made this video, and things to expect with that, as well as the holiday events that will follow, some roadmap updates that are coming in the future, SOE Live, things like that. So I'm going to just go through this and tab through some things as well. It's really too much information for me to just read directly or even to just go over every single thing. I will put all the links in there, and maybe I will even touch back on some specific things that I think might be worth going over in more detail in the future in another video. But anyway, to get to it, as I said, we can expect to hopefully see this December 17th. That'll be awesome. The Performance Update 2, PU02, whatever you want to call it, has a lot of performance updates, specifically with regard to SOMER, as well as just some other general, I believe, memory and other updates from an optimization standpoint. But it also has a lot of balance changes, among other things, so that's probably one of the bigger things to note. Hopefully people will see a performance increase with this patch as well, but there are a lot of balance changes. You may have seen posts going up from Josh over here. This is a really long one regarding infantry hitboxes, audio adjustments, the changes to nanoweave and flak, projectile acceleration, SOE nerf, pretty big changes. They iterated on it a few different times, but basically there's a few different ways that it's getting nerfed. It's a tough nerf, if I have to comment on it. It's a pretty big one, but when you compare it to Aegis Shield and Lockdown, I think that you put it in more perspective, and it's more warranted when you look at it that way. A lot of people are freaking out and saying, I'm never going to use this, I'm only going to use charge. That might be the case when you're playing against intelligent players in competitive settings and things like that. But I still do think it has a use on live server, at least on par with Lockdown and Aegis Shield, for what that's worth. Maybe all of them will require some retuning in the future, I don't know. But I personally still plan on using it, as well as nanoweave, on live servers as my go-to suit slots for both maxes and non-maxes in the case of nanoweave. And we'll see how it goes. In a competitive setting, I don't really play max as much. I might be hesitant to use it, especially with the fact that you can't turn it off. I think that's my big one, that I'd like an advanced player to be able to just toggle it off. And they can still give up the cooldown and give up, if they only had it on for 5 seconds, oh well, they lose out for the next 25 seconds. But the ability to toggle it off is probably nice in the hands of an intuitive player. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. We can talk more about it in the future. Some slight tuning to Other such things with regard to flak not getting one hit, or rather resisting damage from direct explosions. In addition to AoE, some harasser quote-unquote adjustments. Lots of stuff in here. I really recommend reading through it if you haven't. Some changes to lock-on ranges and things like that for lock-ons, and a pass on the anti-infantry weapons mounted on vehicles. I know the Enforcer Modified has gotten a lot of talk. It was going back and forth with some iterations, so I don't actually know what's final on that, but maybe it'll actually be useful one way or another. There's another post that goes into more specifics on the sniper rifle changes. If you don't know, if the last that you heard was the 150-meter limit, that has been pushed out now to be a variable limit for depending on the sniper rifle that you're using. And it's 250, 200, or 300. Most people use these 300-meter ones, which is the render distance of infantry, so I kind of think that's a little bit far. On one hand, you have, if you can hit them at 300 meters in the head, great, congrats, you got a kill. On the other hand, you have, well, that gives you full run of infantry render distance. You could have probably done 200 or 250 and called it a day. But to each their own on that. It doesn't really bother me too much. These changes and these changes, I haven't gotten to test that much yet, but you'll definitely notice a difference, especially in LMGs that you're familiar with, because they've essentially balanced or slightly nerfed both LMGs that have the 75 move speed multiplier. I guess this isn't just LMGs, but you're going to look mostly at the Orion and the SV88 as powerhouses because of this particular stat, and then the Orion especially kind of is getting a little bit of a double nerf because LMGs that are good at hipfire, the Orion, the MSWR, the Anchor, all of those types of things are also getting adjusted in other ways to not make them just kind of the catch-all LMG. So that'll be interesting to see. I really haven't played with it enough myself yet to comment too much. It worries me slightly, but at the same time I think they're pretty minor changes, so it might not really make that huge of a difference in the end. You might see more people resorting to using SMGs as heavies. I mean, it was already a powerful option to use in close quarters as a heavy assault, so maybe you'll see that. But I generally agree with the change that LMGs are, and heavies in particular, are very, very powerful in that current role, so we'll see how it plays out. Also, just some Reddit work on here to just show some other numbers. Slight buff to certain things, like the mag size of the really, really short 20-round DMR and ACX-11 that are now 24. They brought in the minimum damage range on most weapons slightly, not really a big deal. Slight buff to the Rebel and the Cerberus for pistols. Very, very slight buff to battle rifles if you're firing at pretty long range. I guess it's not that slight if you're fighting in mid-range. Try out your battle rifle if you like it, maybe you'll like it even more. Slight buff to burst weapons if you're standing still. So I guess that makes sense that they're going to be extremely controllable if you're standing still. I don't really stand still too often, but why not? I can understand that. And also the close quarters sniper rifle, something I've wanted for a while, no longer have their scope sway, regardless what scope you have on them. So I'm going to enjoy that as I continue to Araxium these, because the SASR is actually the only of the 6 that I've got Araxiumed right now. So got my work cut out for me on that one. Anyway, to jump back to this, we're going to go in order that Higby gave us here. This is what we talked about already. There's going to be holiday cheer. Imagine that. I'm actually really excited about the holiday changes that are coming up, and the events and so on and so forth, the sales. If you didn't tune into Command Center or haven't been watching the forums or Reddit or things like that, there's a lot of really awesome stuff going on. So first off, you've got starting on the 18th and running through the 1st, so 2 weeks, basically Wednesday to 2 Wednesdays from then, you've got, like, all sorts of crazy holiday stuff going on in PlanetSide. So there's going to be a lot of really cool things, actually. There's going to be a full category, which I believe he says on here, full category on sale for 50% off every day of those 14 days. So whether it's shotguns or helmets or carbines or whatever, all of them are going to be 50% off as if they were on a daily sale, and 50% off is a pretty damn good deal. If it's something that I want and I don't have, I always buy it if it's on a daily sale for 50% off. So be on the lookout for that. If there's anything you're looking to buy, grab it on the day that it's on sale with its category. However, on top of that, All of the regular daily sale items that are usually 50% off are going to be 99 station cash for everybody. So unless it's like something you really just will never use, that's pretty much worth picking up almost every day as well. And then really on top of that, the members daily sales are going to be 1 station cash. So that's pretty much a no-brainer. If you have any station cash on your account, you're going to get 14 days worth of items. Yeah, so 14 station cash to get 14 different things, assuming you don't have any of them, but I'm sure that there'll be some in there that are pretty good. They say that they stack the deck on it, so we'll get some pretty awesome stuff. And that alone, I think, is reason enough to subscribe to PlanetSide for 1 month, if nothing else. I think you should subscribe anyway. I think the membership benefits are really great. But even if you've never subscribed before, even if you've never spent a single dime on PlanetSide or bought any station cash or anything like that, you could spend 15 bucks for a month. You get 500 station cash right away for subbing to that. So you don't even need to purchase station cash. And then you can buy upwards of 15, 16, 17, 18 items with that 500 station cash alone if you buy all these daily sale items. Or you can add some more station cash and look to buy some other things that are going to be 50% off as well. So those sales, as far as the sales that are in the depot, are by far the best that we've ever seen. They did some 12 Days of Christmas similar sales last year, but it wasn't this good. So these are really great sales, and I definitely recommend you consider taking advantage of that one way or another. So beyond that, you've got all of the stuff that we've come to know and love and expect with holidays. You've got the holiday camos, the decals, the hood ornaments, and things like that that are going to be themed for Christmas and whatnot. And you've also got the snowball gun, which I've talked about in the previous videos, or in the Bear made a pretty good preview of it as well. Basically a flare gun that shoots snowballs. It's got the same stats and everything else otherwise. It also has a title associated with it at, I believe, about 60 or so kills. Just like the pyro title for the flare gun. So I'll be going after that on probably at least 3 of my characters. So you've got that to look forward to and have fun with. And then you probably see this guy up here, Snowman, that doesn't belong in the PlanetSide. So this entire run of these 2 weeks on SOE only, because right, why not? There's going to be new changes to SOE, brand new Freyr amp stations, really awesome. Plus it's the snowy content, so it makes sense. There's going to be snowman spawning. And you can kill him, you get a chunk of EXP, and I believe that there's some sort of title type of achievement associated with it as well for killing, I don't know, X number of snowmen or something like that. I'm sure somebody will get the details out as soon as this stuff starts, and I'll share them with you guys as well when I know them for sure. But I will be killing any snowmen that I see. As I understand it, you get, it says make sure you get it before your squad mates do. So as far as I understand, you're probably just the one person that kills it gets the reward. So if you see him, kill him, and get yourself some EXP. It says if you light up enough of them, you may earn a special reward. So I guess that might be another title or something cosmetic or whatever, if you will. And then there's the rare blinged out quote-unquote golden snowman who gives a very exclusive reward. I have no idea what it'll be, but that's awesome. And I hope to find at least one of those, if not 4 of them, for all of my characters, LOL. But I might do some snowman hunting. We'll see how rare they are, how often they pop up, especially the golden ones. And I don't know. But that's really exciting to me. I really geek out on this type of stuff, so that'll be pretty cool. And then I don't think it's mentioned in this post, but Higby did mention it on Command Center that they're doing 8 days of Araximus, kind of like Araxis and Christmas. Anyway, on Facebook, where they're going to be doing giveaways and promotions and things like that on their Facebook page. And we don't really know anything else about it, but it might be worth even making a dummy Facebook if you don't have your own Facebook, or if you don't want to associate your own Facebook with PlanetSide related stuff or game related stuff. It might be worth checking that out. And last time they did a Facebook thing, other than the weekly station cash giveaways, was around beta of PlanetSide 2, and they did some huge Recruit Center app that I actually participated in, but I didn't complete it, so I missed out on the golden Facebook pistols, which have haunted me ever since as like the only exclusive item that I don't have. So part of me hopes that they reintroduce them. I know I've kind of nudged that suggestion in their ears, a little bit of inception every so often. I don't know if they ever will. SOE is actually really good about exclusives, so they usually don't reintroduce stuff, and that's fine. I understand. I wish I would have gotten it at the time, and it'd be awesome to actually see them get reintroduced as part of a new Facebook promo. But we'll see. If not, it might just be some fun stuff either way you don't want to miss out on. So For what that's worth, lots of holiday stuff going on in the PlanetSides. The only things that could make it better are if we had a double station cache or something like that. Last year they did December 21st. It was a 1 day only in the midst of their 12 days of Christmas, where they had double station cache, or maybe it was even triple. I don't know. But I'd be tickled if it was double, because I have so many cards that I've bought over the course of probably like a year now, just waiting to redeem on some sort of day like that. So that would be awesome. I feel greedy even saying it because they're doing so many amazing things already, but that would just really be icing on the cake. So I'm still kind of, have my fingers crossed for it. Double EXP again would be awesome, but maybe I'm a little bit biased on that because I've missed out on the last 2 double EXP events. So it's been since May that I've gotten to participate in a double EXP, and last Christmas they had like a full week-long double EXP between Christmas and New Year's, and that was awesome. So I kind of hope to see that again too, and it might make sense that they wouldn't announce it this early. So fingers crossed on that one too. But even if they don't deliver, I'm really happy with this stuff, and you guys should be too. Not that I tell you what to be happy about, but anyway. Other things. Okay, so he moves on to discuss the roadmap, which, if you haven't noticed, has been kind of dormant and whatever lately. But they actually added 4 new things with extreme detail as to where they're at in the design section. I totally thought that I turned Skype off. Anyway, we've got Amurish, which actually has a date of February as the planned date, and Higby even mentioned in here that they're only going to try to put dates when they're pretty sure that it's going to come out in that month, and the rest are going to leave unscheduled until they know. So that's probably better, a little bit more consistency and reliability on that front. They've got the mission systems, which a lot of people are happy about. The directive systems, which I was fortunate enough to learn a little bit about last month, and I was so excited about it. So I'm glad to see it kind of fleshed out a little bit more on the roadmap, and the new updated death screen, which is also something I've been asking for and talked about on Friday Night Ops last week for a bit. So I'm not going to go over these, but I'm just going to point your attention to them. They're at the bottom of the list because they're brand new posts. So maybe you want to actually vote them up if it's something you like. The mission system is waypoints that you're always going to have one mission and one mission only. It can be derived by your platoon leader or your squad leader, or it can just be given to you by the game if you're playing Lone Wolf or whatever, and basically giving you a waypoint where if you go there you get more XP for fighting in that area, directing new players and things like that. It's really kind of a no-brainer, great addition to the game to move people along and keep them interested, especially if they're just logging in for the first time or something like that, don't really know where to go, or they find a fight and it ends and then they don't know what happens next. We saw that a lot at MLG Columbus when people were playing the game for the first time. So anyway, we also have Amurish. They've been doing so much great work to Amurish so far. Here's, I guess, a proposed lattice map and some screenshots of bases. If you've been watching Clegg and Klaus and Malorn tweet things out on Twitter, there's some really awesome looking stuff. A new building that they built for the first time to be used in here, and a lot of really redesigned stuff that looks great. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's looking like it'll push in February, and that's pretty cool news. The updated death screen, this is just a mock-up. It's going to change a lot, but really great stuff that they've got going on here. Full list of suit slots, and I guess this would be an implant, as well as the info you normally get, plus some additional stuff, accessories for the weapon that are used, some session stats for the person, where they're at with ribbons and medals and directives and stuff like that. They even talked about a kill cam. I don't know if they're going to go that route. They don't seem to know if they are going to yet. I personally am not really a fan of a kill cam, but I could understand and wouldn't hate seeing one of these solutions that they talked about, Rel, pointing to an area on the map where you were killed from, or just panning from your position to the direction that you were killed from, to give people a little bit more information. But for what that's worth, all of that info's here, and it's pretty good stuff. And then directives. Basically their version of achievements that also will direct people in a similar fashion to the missions by giving them things to do meaningful. If you're BR1, you might just have to use a terminal. If you're a BR10, maybe you have to kill 5 enemies except to revive, and so on and so forth. And then if you're higher in the BRs, there's earn 20 or axioms, top score of an alert, some things like kill multiple enemies with 1 C4, complete all of your daily ribbons every day for a week, 20 kills with less than 20% health, just some crashing galaxies into people, just some things like that. and aesthetic or cosmetic rewards based on it: camos, titles, decals, hood ornaments, unique weapon looks even. And they're looking for feedback on it. I love achievements. I competed for achievements in pretty much every game ever. I was, always like world ranked for them in World of Warcraft when I played seriously, as well as in other games. I'm just like an achievement nut. I love the progression in it, so I'll probably be doing them at least on my Matherson characters, and just going for full completion, and that's going to give me so much more to do in addition to the game that I already enjoy. So really, really looking forward to that. I've probably been talking for like a half hour now. I don't even know. I don't even have the timer on the video, so you guys are screwed. Last thing to talk about for now, SOE Live. Dates were announced, August 14th to 17th, 2014, in Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas again. Everybody I know had amazing things to say about it. I really wish I could have gotten out there last year, and it's still a ways away, still a good 9 months away, so I'm really hoping to be able to make the plans. I'm already trying to figure out travel arrangements, getting off from work. I know my work is a shitty place to try to take off of in the summer. Unfortunately, we are extremely busy, but I'm going to do everything in my power to solidify that way in advance so that I know we've got our plan set and we can be out there, and hopefully see a lot of you guys out there. So that's what I got for now. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully this little person just babbling in the corner of the screen helped somehow entertain you, and please give me feedback on that. Be sure to tune in to ItZMuRdA.com for the stream, and I will see you guys there. Have a good one. I guess I should probably, like, I don't know, just stare at the screen after I'm done, so that, like, I'm not just, like, fidgeting with stuff. Anyway, take it easy, guys.